welcome. Welcome to the live. Welcome. Happy Friday wherever you are. Happy Friday. Very excited to be here with you this Friday. Welcome. Welcome to the live. Welcome. Today we're talking about how meditation helps you escape narcissistic abuse. Welcome in. How meditation helps you escape narcissistic abuse. Welcome in. We're focused on how meditation and the utility of meditation in escaping narcissistic abuse. That's what we're going to go deep into today. It's going to be a deep dive on the practical utility of meditation for escaping narcissistic abuse. So if you've ever experienced narcissistic abuse and you find yourself going in and out of narcissistic abuse, you are in the right place. Welcome in. Tell somebody. Today we're talking about how meditation frees you from narcissistic abuse. So this is going to be a real transmission going into meditation, not as something fashionable to do, but meditation as a real portal. How you doing? A real portal to free you from narcissistic abuse. So welcome in. Hello, David. Welcome in. Tell somebody to tell somebody. Welcome in. Welcome. Yes, we're going to get started very soon. And if you've never meditated, you're in the right place. If you've ever been in any situation that was abusive to you and caused trauma in your life, you are in the right place. All of the primary focus is on the utility of meditation in freeing you from the spell of narcissistic abuse. So that's what we're going to be focused on today. The utility of narcissistic abuse and freeing you from the spell of narcissistic abuse. That's it. Happy Friday to you, wherever you are on the planet. And for some people, it's already Saturday, people in Australia and places like that. But here in Seattle, it's Friday. It's Friday at the beginning of the day. And all things being equal, you're all doing well. So we're talking today about meditation as a portal to free you from narcissistic abuse. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Meditation as the portal to free you from narcissistic abuse. So if you've ever wondered whether you are a meditator, not a meditator, I'm too intimidated to meditate, maybe I should, or it's too hard to do, you are in the right place. And we're going to talk about meditation in general, but meditation as it pertains to freeing yourself from narcissistic abuse, right? Particularly for empaths who've experienced narcissistic abuse. Hi, Christina, welcome. Hello, Ellie, welcome. Hello, empath, I understand, but don't worry, we're all in this together. So let me get started. Right, and I thank you all for being here this wonderful Friday, wherever you are. And although we're not dealing with the concept of time, it's morning, but we're not mourning anything. It's the beginning of the day. So, first of all, it's important that you realize that your nervous system was never meant to be a battlefield. You see? Your nervous system was never meant to be a battlefield, yet it became one. And your nervous system became the battlefield because of the trauma, because of the betrayal, and because of the narcissistic distortion that you experienced. Thank you, Darlene. This is exactly it. So meditation is not an escape. Meditation is not an escape. Meditation is an engine of liberation. It doesn't bypass reality, it restores it. And if you're ready to recover your divine coding, if you are, and dissolve the spells of narcissism, Hylian, and step into energetic sovereignty, then this transmission is for you. Let me say this again. If you're ready to recover your divine coding and dissolve the spells of narcissism and step into energetic sovereignty, then this transmission is for you. And if I'm talking to you, just type transform in the comments. Let me know we're on the same page. If this is why you're here. We're learning about how meditation is the ultimate cheat code for freeing you from narcissistic abuse. Hey Kelly, welcome in. Welcome in. I get it, but this is exactly. Oh, thank you, H. Tim Sala. Wonderful, Leanne. Wonderful, wonderful, Mystical Raven. Hey, Art Sarah. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Robin. I'm glad. I'm glad. XL Jude. Wonderful, wonderful. So let's go further. Brittany. Wonderful, wonderful. Brittany. Yes, Kay Shackleton. Wonderful. So, hi, Cynthia. Let's go into it and start with sort of a broad-based definition. Hi, Michelle. I'm glad it's timely, Kay. First of all, meditation for the general population may seem to be relaxation. Oh, that kind of thing that those hippy-dippy people do. But for an empath, a light being, a star seed, an indigo person, meditation is existential recovery. Because empaths are not merely sensitive people. In fact, highly sensitive, HSP is more appropriate. Empaths are neurosomatic seers, meaning that an empath can think and sense things from a bodily perspective and intuit. Because the empath is designed to absorb, so delicious, transmute, and alchemize collective energy, like we're all doing here together. But because we're all on this empathic wavelength, we're all dancing positively together. But without regulation, this neurosomatic ability to see becomes a trauma loop. So meditation is not the retreat. Meditation is a software patch, right, that brings you to a place of deepening. You see? This is what it is. Blair, I don't understand what you're saying, but if you're here to learn about meditation and narcissistic abuse, you're in the right place. If you're not, then you know what to do, Blair. So let me go into more deeper analysis here. First of all, from a neuroscientific perspective, hi, Dan, welcome. Meditation strengthens the prefrontal cortex. In other words, meditation makes you smart. So if you want to get smart, then that's the direct way of saying it. But I'm giving you the science here. It strengthens the prefrontal cortex, which is a place for your rational thinking, and it weakens the amygdala, meaning that if you've been under trauma, your amygdala is where all the fear is. So if your ability to think better is improved and your fear shrinks, guess what you're doing? More opportunity to live the life and create the life you want, because it restores your cognitive emotional balance disrupted by trauma. Am I making sense? If I am, someone say transform. Now let me go further into polyvagal theory. From a polyvagal theory perspective, it says meditation activates the sympathetic vagus nerve. Right? This is the vagus nerve. It's in the neck here, which enables social engagement and safety. Therefore, it counters your dorsal shutdown, which is what happens when you either become avoidant. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Superlicious. Thank you, Leanne. This is why you either become avoidant or anxious or both. Thank you, Blessed Beyond Measure, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Now, to go in even further, meditation is like a hard reset. You know when your phone is acting up and you have to turn it off? it's a hard reset, which allows your device to stop glitching, your mind heart, because meditation recalibrates the empath's bioelectromagnetic field, clearing old scripts. Remember your trauma loops, which run in the subconscious mind. I know my own personal experience. And I had a wonderful teacher at the beginning of my journey. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Sibley. Thank you, who encouraged me to go on a silent retreat. And I remember my first silent retreat was for 10 days, completely silent. And I'd come out of my second divorce, right? Meditation is simply observing yourself, Michelle, right? And this 10-day retreat, all I had was me sitting for 8 hours a day observing my mind. And I could see my traumas, how I was people pleasing, where it came from in my upbringing with my mother and my father, the dynamic between them. Sometimes a dance between an empath, a narcissist and a codependent, or a narcissist and a covert, right? And that how influenced my first marriage, then my second marriage, and then kind of how I was putting myself down, how I was creating my low self-esteem, how I was judgmental, because I started to realize that any kind of negative thought I had about the world, I had to have towards myself first. So if I didn't want to harm myself first, then I wouldn't be able to harm the world. So if I wanted to feel good about the world, then I had to feel good about myself first. And this is how I started to kind of see the whole thing, right? So as I'm saying, let me go. Meditation operates on a non-linear dynamical system, meaning that a breath is not just a breath, Leanne. It creates a recursive fractal feedback loop that reinforces coherence. This is what is called a heart rate variability, which is a quantifiable mathematical measure. Yeah, you see, that rises in consistent meditators, which includes systemic resilience and creates coherence between your heart, body, and your mind. So, in other words, meditation will stop your. Hi, Ellie. Thank you so much. Simone, I'm so glad. Brittany, Kelly. Meditation will move you from disassociation. It will move you from self-denial. It will move you from self-abandonment, self-hate, self-loathing. You see, but I want to be clear that there are many types of meditation, right? And I'll go through a few of them, and then I'll tell you about the one I practice, right? But it doesn't matter what you do, whether it's journal meditation or sitting meditation or prayer, whatever you want to call it. But meditation, it's important to know that each one functions like a surgical tool to address your specific trauma. So there's one example, let's call this the shamatha meditation, which is concentration meditation, right? And this kind of meditation involves focusing yourself on one single object, like the breath, right? Or mantra. If you do transcendental meditation, you're given a mantra to repeat over and over again, right? Fina, doctor, when we taking some of our powers back, is it safe? Because previously our powers were held by a narcissist. Our powers become tainted by dark energy. No, the reason why the narcissist wanted your power is because the narcissist wants to be empathetic. That's all it is. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why you have the ability to attract dark and light. Fina 199. So this kind of meditation, when you focus on one thing, whether it's a mantra or your breath or your hearing, right? So this is concentration meditation. It's been shown in MRI scans, right? MRI scans that show that it affects your brain in positive ways. Because when you learn to become still, you become unreactive. You now only focus on response. Then there's a Buddhist meditation called metta meditation. Metta means loving kindness, right? Loving kindness or forgiveness type meditation. And this is really about sending, I like centering, okay? This is really about sending compassion to the world. I know for me, metta meditation was very helpful for me. And it mainly meant that, it was go something like this. I have 5 levels to it where I'll wish myself all the good things, right? May I be happy, may I be joyful, may I be abundant and all that. Then the next level is I'll wish the same thing for my children, right? May they be abundant, may they be joyful, etc. Then the next level is I'll wish it for my clients or the few friends and family that I have. May they be same wishes I wish for myself. And the fourth level is I wish for all the narcissists and people who cause havoc in my life, and even those who I may have hurt, same wishes, sending that level of compassion. And then I wish it for the whole world. So imagine you can only do this when you no longer wish harm for yourself, Cynthia. You see what I'm saying? Lisa, you got it, right? And when you no longer wish harm for yourself, you don't wish harm for the world. Therefore, it becomes difficult for the world to harm you. So this kind of meta meditation, METTA, is known, compassion is measurable to biophotons, meaning biophotons are light particles that are emitted from the DNA. So this kind of compassion meditation increases more light particles in you. This is the science. And this is measured by MRI studies, etc., etc., etc. So therefore, the term light being is actually very definitely accurate. Do you see? Then, of course, there's mantra meditation, kind of like what you get with transcendental meditation. And I practiced for a long time transcendental meditation before I became Buddhist and started to practice what's known as Vipassana meditation or insight meditation. But mantras is simply repeating one word over and over again or a number of words over and over again until you are concentrated, right? That also helps with kind of walking meditation is very powerful. It is very powerful. Of course it is, right? There's also lying meditation. Of course, you can lay down and meditate, but laying down doesn't mean go to sleep, right? There's laying meditation. And of course, with modern technology, some people listen to brain waves or solfeggio frequencies or holosync music, or there are some of these high-tech places where you could go where it's technology enabled, but it finally gets you to a place of mindfulness using sound waves and sound technology. Those are useful too, right? They're very useful in getting into your beta waves and theta waves and so forth. So we're not going to limit it to just formal practice, but ultimately, if you can practice formally, and I practice Vipassana meditation, which means insight. And Vipassana meditation is in the language of the Buddha. In the background, I have an Om chant playing, right? It's an Om chant. So it's all frequency music. Sometimes I play this kind of frequency music, but yes, Om chanting, very powerful, because Om is a primordial sound. Om is a sound that your vagus nerve also recognizes, right? So very powerful. But anyway, back to Vipassana meditation. And am I making sense? Am I talking to you? If I am, somebody let me know if I'm talking to you. I don't want to just be talking to myself, right? And talking about things that I want to talk about. If I'm connecting with you, say meditation or transform in the comments. Let me know if I'm talking to you, right? It's important to make you. Thank you, Dog Spree. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Blessed 456. Thank you, Leanne. Wonderful. Excuse me. Thank you, Blessed Beyond Measure. Thank you. Me, Ferris Wholeness. Wonderful. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad it's connected. Okay, thank you very much. Meditation, wonderful. So basically, Vipassana, thank you for it, brothers. Vipassana means to see clearly, and is a cornerstone of what's known as Theravada Buddhism, which is the oldest form of Buddhism, one I practice, taught us by the Buddha as a path to meditation. Thank you, Alyssa. And basically, Vipassana is about direct phenomenological observation, meaning that you observe your physical sensations, how you're breathing, how you're reacting. You train your mind to observe everything, even if you're in pain, to observe pain before reacting to pain. If you feel yourself attached to an outcome or a person, observing that and seeing how that is causing you suffering. And as you begin to see that, right? I know it's been a struggle, so we're going to talk about it. I don't think we can cover all of it today, but I'll do as much as I can. But when you begin to see that all of life is impermanent, And no matter what you do, all of life is unsatisfactory. And no matter what, you're always changing as a person. Meaning that, imagine if somebody said, I asked you, what would make you happy today if it happened? Whatever it was said, whatever you say makes you happy. The moment you get it, within no time, it loses that first satisfaction it had when you got it because diminishing return sets in. Meaning that life is unsatisfactory. If you want $1 million, you get $1 million, it's not enough. Now you want 10. You get 10 million, 10 million is not enough. Now you want 100, right? You got a new car at 2025 or 2026. Now it's 2027. Now you want the 2027, right? So we're never satisfied. And lack of satisfaction is at the core of suffering. And when you begin to meditate, particularly with Vipassana meditation, observing your breath, you begin to see this in life. Now, why is this healing for empaths? Right? Take a million, why not? Right? It's healing for empaths because as you observe painful sensations without reaction, it rewires your mind. Because remember, as an empath, you've been living in fear, 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 fear. So your relationship with fear begins to change. From a quantum perspective, it says by observing waves, which is pain, the pain you went through, the thoughts about your pain and your emotions, when you observe these without collapsing them into particles, reaction, then you exit the trauma timeline. Because the reason why your trauma continues is because you're connected to your trauma. My father did this to me, my mother did this to me, my wife did that to me, and then you keep repeating that story. And the fastest way out of that is meditation. And meditation means to release, and to release means to forgive. You see, bed watching is really powerful. I love it. Now, in the Buddhist framework, which I am, you begin to see that even the pain that you experience is not you. It's just like a wave, like a cloud in the sky. Because we empaths hold trauma in our subtle bodies, in our etheric bodies, our vibrations. You know, when you meet somebody, you say, I don't like their vibes. That's what I'm talking about. And Vipassana releases these knots of energy layer by layer because it's energetic surgery without a scalpel. So how does meditation free from narcissistic abuse? You know, the narcissistic abuse, well, you have to try. And you see, let me ask you a question, succulent track. You say, I think it's easier said than done. When you do hard things often, what happens to the hard thing? I'm going to wait for your response before we continue. Succulent Struck by Mary. When you do hard things often, what happens to the hard thing? Dogs be alike. Qigong is very powerful. But before I continue, Succulent Struck by Mary. Oh, you said it! You said it. You see how you just broke yourself out of your spell, Succulent Struck by Mary? I love you for that. That is the spirit. That is neuroplasticity. It becomes easier. Same thing with meditation. Everybody, thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Karen. Oh, Succulent Struck by Mary, I expected an egoic response, but your response tells me that you are an ascending being. Brava. You passed a little test I put you through. But let me continue. How does meditation break you from the spell of narcissistic abuse? Exactly, blessed. This is what happens. It becomes sacred. Yes. Joe Dispenza is someone I really respect. Totally. And I think he lives not too far away, somewhere here in the Seattle area, or at least Washington State, right? Sometimes, Mary, I like that. So what are the benefits to you from practicing meditation? What are the benefits? What are the benefits? First of all, it collapses the trauma loop. And everybody understands what I mean by the trauma loop, right? Because meditation interrupts the feedback loop between I got a trigger, and then that's my identity, then becomes my behavior, then shame, right? Because when you become the inner witness, a seat of observation untouched by gaslighting, you see things as they are. Sacred pause, you said it, Kay. It also begins to restore yourself into seeing your body as a temple. You see, a lot of us were dissociated and used our bodies in ways that were not productive, but had logical reasons to make us feel connected, less dissociated. But meditation brings you from exile, it restores you back from exile. Meditation brings you back to the here and now, right here and now, as Ram Dass would say, because each breath reclaims a territory once colonized by fear and trauma. Wonderful, blessed for life. Exactly, Solita. You see, this is what happens. Then also, meditation reveals the narcissist spell. Because in deep meditation, the empath sees the narcissist not as powerful, but as projections built on fear. And by the way, if you want to check out some of my meditations, I have some free meditations on the website Insight Timer. It's also an app, Insight Timer. You just search Inner Mileage and Insight Timer. I think I have about 10 recorded meditations there, just meditations, right? If you're interested, Insight Timer. But anyway, meditation also cuts the psychic cord because narcissistic abuse is a spell, right? There, it's a spell. So in silence, it reveals what's not yours, what is inherited. And remember, a lot of our traumas were not just what we saw in the environment, they were also passed on to us epigenetically, right? And when you begin to really see what is, because to be awake or to be woke simply means to see things as they are. Exactly, Kay. It seems like you've been doing this for a little while. So in deep meditation, you begin the empath, right? You begin to see the narcissist not as powerful, but as a projection built on fear. You watch the illusions disintegrate in real time. You begin to see it all. Because meditation is the portal to divine coherence, which is why the breath is emphasized in every major religious tradition. In the Christian tradition, what do they tell you? The breath was life. The breath, because you are the breath. Who are you without the breath? Nothing. If you stop eating today, you'll be fine. If you stop drinking water, you'll be fine for a little while. But if you stop breathing, what would you lose? KRS-One told us, you will lose consciousness because the breath is consciousness. And you need consciousness to breathe because you are consciousness. Am I going too fast? Someone tell me. Someone tell me if I'm talking to you. So religions say pray, right? Signs say breathe. But when your mind goes back into the spell, how does that transfer to reality occur? Because the spell keeps it going. And your reality basically is a projection of continuous sustained thoughts that happen on a subatomic level. So you're creating all your reality by every thought, conscious and unconscious, that's happening. And things appear, and then you interpret it a certain way, you make certain decisions, and those decisions become the outcomes, and then the outcomes become your life. But when you begin to see that movie playing out in your mind, then you can make conscious decisions whether you want to react or act, knowing that each move you make, Succulent by Mary, is a wave that becomes a potential which changes the path you take. Am I talking to you? Okay. So fasting is really good. Thank you, Dogsby. Now, science says breathe. Spirituality says observe. But in the kind of meditation I practice, Vipassana, insight meditation, it's about doing nothing and simply observing the breath and observing simply what is. Because when you master stillness, you align with the golden ratio rhythms in your body. Meditation disentangles you from toxic entanglements and enmeshments. It brings you back to the 0 point field, and stillness becomes your throne. You see? So before I open it for questions, I'd like to invite you to a short meditation, maybe for 2 minutes, if that's okay with you. Yes? So I'll start it by ringing the bell once, and I end it by ringing the bell 3 times, just so we know it's over, right? So here it is. So wherever you are, if you can, just gently close your eyes. We're starting with mindfulness of the body. and just become aware that this is your body. Notice your feet. Notice your calves. Notice your shins. Notice your knees. Notice how your knee bones connect to your hip bones. Notice how your hip bones are held by the chair or the bed or the sofa. If you're standing, just notice how your body holds itself out. Bring your attention to your belly button. Notice whether it's rising or falling with each breath. Don't worry about what your mind is thinking. Observe but do not connect. Now bring your attention to your heart. Heart space. Notice how it rises and falls with each breath. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax your jaws. Separate your teeth. Relax your eyelids. Relax your head. Relax the crown of your head. Now bring your attention to your breath. Simply noticing whether you're breathing fast, slow, whether your nostrils are blocked. And then notice what you're thinking. Just notice what you're thinking. And as we come to the end of this brief meditation, keep on breathing. Recognizing that the only moment that matters is here and now. Not 5 minutes from now, not next week, but now. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What was that like for you? What did you notice? That's a little primer into meditation and breathing consciously. Chris in Christ. This is exactly it. Thank you, Alicia. Oh, Ellie, you're so kind. Ellie, you're so kind. This is how you connect to the self within you. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you are on the subway or in a busy city or by the beach or in public transit. The peace-inducing. That's exactly it. That you have access to your breath wherever you are, even if you're on tubes, right? Just being aware that you are breathing through a tube is there. I'm so glad, Suckling by Mary. This is what it is. So much gratitude for you too, Kiki. Oh, this is what it is. Blessed beyond measure. Hey, Kikimi, wonderful. Leanne, this is what it is. So when you are in the habit of doing this often, right? Find the bell too. Imagine this. You're basically in the same way you became traumatized, you practice being traumatized, right? Now your practice is being calm. In the same way you practice self-hate, which is I'm not good enough and so forth, you can also start practicing self-love. And when you start to practice in this way, it doesn't matter what is going on in the economy. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Remember, because as Krishnamurti would say, you are the world, right? You are the one. A coven will not be known because of the secrets never spoken. The empath lives in the fantasy world of bliss until the empath wakes up, Michael, which is why this channel is all about awakening. You understand? Come on, Michael. What are you talking about? This is what it is, E. Morgan, right? So this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing. When you begin to Stop practicing self-hate and start to practice self-love, which includes how you treat yourself. What's your diet? What kind of people are you around? What kind of food do you eat? What do you watch? What do you read? What kind of places do you go to? What kind of places don't you go to? What kind of things you expose yourself to? And what kind of things do you think about? Just observing your thoughts, you start to free yourself from the spell of narcissistic abuse. So are there any questions? Let's see. I think there's one from Kimmy. Let's get you in here, right? But this is what happens, right? E. Morgan, you can start doing some research, right? There's a lot of good research on resources like Lines Raw and Tricycle Magazine. Hi, Kimmy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am well. Tell us, what's on your mind today with regards to meditation and narcissistic abuse?
Wow, that meditation. I mean, I'm just standing up, just feeling every part of my body and breathing. It was just such a beautiful thing. It made me pause for a moment and really take in everything for this morning. And I'm really peaceful right now. That's what I'm feeling. Very peaceful.
That's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. And what is your relationship with meditation? And how has it helped you?
What is my relationship with what?
Meditation. And how has it helped you?
Well, meditation for me is to really be one with my body and to take the time out of each day to be still and to really feel my toes, my ankles, my knees, every little part that is healing right now from narcissistic abuse. So I feel like I'm coming into a beautiful, beautiful space after many, many, many years of narcissistic abuse. And I thank you. I thank you.
That's so wonderful to see you, and I look forward to connecting a little later.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in. You're on the right path, which is a reconnection with the divine feminine within.
And oh my gosh. Today is just this whole morning. I am now a volunteer for the Turtle Rescue Project in Sayulita, Mexico.
Wow.
I meet today with my first new family member of this beautiful organization. And I will be on the beaches very late at night or very early in the morning.
See?
So for this, of course, I need to be very peaceful.
Exactly.
And continue this meditation, continue this therapy, continue this mindset, because I am out to help baby turtles.
Exactly. How can you help them if you haven't helped yourself? You just be projecting. That's exactly
it. Absolutely. And to be ready. Like today, I am ready. To actually communicate with these people and to have a new family, because this is my passion in my life. One of them is to help animals.
Oh, I'm hearing the emotion in your voice, and you see, as you're doing it, it's healing you too. So this is nature has a very cunning, beautiful, clever web. This is how it takes. As the great teacher Muji would say, life takes care of life. So if you're taking care of life, then life takes care of life, which is you, and you take care of life. Then you see, that's a symbiotic relationship.
Absolutely, and that's the way I feel. I mean, just to even save one baby turtle.
Yeah. This is it. That's it. So you're doing it, and it's so wonderful to see you, and I look forward to connecting a little later.
Namaste.
Yes. Namaste.
Yes.
Ciao. Ciao. See, you heard it. You heard it from Kimmy. This is what it's about. This is about reclaiming your internal world. See? That's what it's about. You see? So that's the message for you today, folks. That's the message. That's the message. That's the message. You see? Any other questions? Ciao. Any others? Hi, Leanne. Yes, yes. Hi, Tiffany. How you doing? In claiming your internal well. That's exactly it. That's exactly. Hey, Chrissy, I'm so glad. Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. All right. So, all right. Oh, you're still here? Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Take care, Kimmy. See you soon. All right. Bye. So this is what it's about. You see, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. I'm so glad you're at peace. And when you begin to see the whole movie in front of you, you become less entangled to it. And yes, I'm glad we all feel calm. Yeah, this is what meditation is about. Can you set a boundary spiritually, like a space using meditation? Well, your external world is driven by your internal world. And so you cannot set external boundaries without first setting those within you. And that's all based on beginning to see things as they are. And as you see things as they are, you see how you contribute to that wave that is not satisfactory to you. So that is how you free yourself from it. Hi, Wi-Fi, how you doing? Glad you're here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Mrs. Wi-Fi, hello. How you doing? Happy for others who are at peace. And well, Ellie, it takes a lot of work, right? So the question is, what do you want, Ellie? You have to want and desire peace before you can manifest it. And it starts with awareness, as you're saying, hope for health. Right? This is what it is. You have to be sick and tired, Lisa. You have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of suffering. You see? But some people are so addicted to their suffering, they can't imagine an alternative outside that suffering, you see? And it's only with extreme pain that they begin to look at the most obvious place, which is within. And the deeper you're able to sit, like we did a few moments ago, you begin to see how you create some of these narratives. And sometimes it starts with first dealing with all the noise and the static, right? And that's why some people get tripped up because there's so much noise. They begin to tell themselves the stories. I'm not good at this, but you have to get through the noise. It's like flying a plane, right? You go through the turbulence on a cloudy day. There's a lot of clouds in the sky before you get to kind of good altitude, right? So it's the same thing. Hope for health. And I know you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, Leanne, and that's what it is. Your vagus nerve, it heals you. That's right. So that's the same thing here. Yeah. Yes, I'm in the battlefield, but I make my own peace in this hostile place. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ellie. Just keep imagining your way out of it until a way out of it becomes real. Because it all starts within. You have to see freedom first, right? What would you say to the version of yourself that went through the pain? Oh, I love you. And it gets better. And I'm proud of you for never giving up. Does that answer your question, Alyssa? That's what I would say. That's exactly what I would say. It's a beautiful question. So, this is the message for today, you see? This is the message. This is the message, right? I hope this connected with you. And if I can be of further help, we can book a free session on my website, innermileage.com, right? Thank you, Alyssa. I'm glad it connected, right? Just book a free session on innermileage.com where we can talk, and that's how it begins, right? So sending you best wishes. For more information, you can send me a direct message on Instagram or TikTok or reach out to me directly at innermileage.com, right? Yes, Hakim. Yes. Hakim Tafari. What's going on, brother? How you feeling? Yeah, we'll do for catch up with the other siblings soon. But sending you lots of good energy this Friday, Hakim. Much love. I'm proud to stand up to my enemies. I'm glad you're taking your power back. So Queen Nacelove, Ellie, I just want to send you thanks. And remember, just be in the moment. Waking up is simply waking up to what is. And finding those moments of peace in your chaos is how you begin to develop a relationship with peace until peace becomes a lifestyle. And the lifestyle just becomes the outcomes in which you're walking in the light. Do you see? Just like you practice being unmindful, you can practice becoming mindful. So this is how you free yourself from the spell of narcissistic abuse, by seeing it as it is, therefore not following and flowing to those loops. So I think I did my job. Thank you. Peace and light. One love all. Find peace within. You are the world, as Christian Matthew would say. Oh well, do you want to go back to hell, Queen Nace Love? Or are you not enjoying your peace? It's up to you, and depending on what you're addicted to, right? One love, people. One love. 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 Thank you so much.